What's going on? My name is Tosh Daldy. This is SDG Labs, and there was this negative boy who was unsure about going to a radical party. Dude was kind of a square, missed out on 4 awesome chicks. Party was over at 2 a.m. That's a fact, Jack. Alright, so what I want to show you today is the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation looks like magic, and I hate magic. I can't stand it. I feel like a lot of times teachers pull this equation out of their butts and throw it up on the board and say, memorize this for the rest of your life because this is going to be relevant to you. So what I want to do is I want to prove this to you. I want to bring this from the most basic thing that you can understand into something, into deriving this from scratch. Hopefully I can do this. I'm going to do this off the top of my head. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to start off with the general form of quadratic equation. Usually you see it as y equals 3x squared plus 2x plus 4, something like that. That's going to graph some kind of parabola, but instead of using 3's and 2's and 4's, I'm going to use a very general thing where I can say a, b, and c, and then I'll just change up what a, b, and c are in order to make it work correctly. I'm going to pull out an a out of here. So I've got a times x squared plus b over a times x plus c over a. And I'll warn you, some of the moves I'm going to be doing are kind of weird. Just go with it for now. But technically I didn't do anything wrong, because if you distribute this a back in here, it really becomes, I don't know, just regular. It becomes with the step right above. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this trick called complete the square, and I'll show you what it is. Ax squared plus b over ax plus c over a. All I did was I rewrote the one line right above. I just put this odd space in there. The reason why I put that odd space is because I wanted to make space for this weird thing I'm going to add. This is side work right here. What I have is b over a. I'm going to take this value, I'm going to divide it by 2 and square that. So b over a divided by 2, which is also multiplied by 1/2, b over 2a. And then square that, that would be b squared over 4a squared. I didn't put an equal sign because it's actually not equal, it's squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this weird value that I have, b squared over 4a squared, over here. So I have a x squared plus b over a x plus b squared over 4a squared. But I can't just go around straight up adding b squared over 4a squared to this side, because this is an equation and that no longer makes it equal, so I have to subtract it as well. So I'm going to have a minus b squared over 4a squared plus c over a, and hence you can see why I put that big space in between. Now the reason why I did that is because these first 3 terms end up being something really nice to be able to be factored. I'll show you how to factor them. All you do is you kind of just take this as x plus b over 2a squared. Alright, that's a little freaky. The reason why I did this weird trick is so that I can make it look like this. Why don't I take a second to prove to you that this is what I have underlined. If I were to square this, that would be x plus b over 2a. Square that, you got the first times the first, which is x squared. You got the outer times outer, which is plus xb over 2a. You've got the inner times inner, which is another xb over 2a. And you got the last times last, which is b squared over 4a squared. This guy right inside can add together. So I have x squared plus xb over a plus b squared over 4a squared. Hey, that's exactly what I have underlined. Those are the same. Alright, so can I write this without you freaking out? This is the same as that. I'm just going to make this a little prettier. I still have the minus b squared over 4a squared plus c over a. Multiply the entire thing by a, and that's still equal to y. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to distribute in this a. So I have y equals a x plus b over 2a squared minus b squared over 4a. I got rid of one of the a's on the bottom because there's an a on top. And I've got plus c. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this equal to 0. Because this quadratic equation solves when y equals to 0. So, I'm going to try to figure out what x is. Well, now I can just straight up use regular algebra to solve for x. I'm going to pull over this c, I'm going to pull over this guy. So this becomes negative c plus b squared over 4a equals a times x plus b over 2a. Alright, see, all I did was I subtracted c from that side, put it over here, added b squared over 4a to that side, put it over there. If it's alright with you, I'm going to do some fingerboard math and make this, instead of I'm going to put this over 4a, and I'll have to put 4a in the numerator as well, since I'm just adding that. The reason why I'm going to do that is just so I can combine like terms, to combine the same denominators. Alright, so you ready? Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to, well, I guess I can just put this whole thing over the common denominator. I haven't really done anything freaky yet. Alright, all I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by a. So why don't I just rewrite this bottom part a little bit nicer. I've got b squared minus 4ac. See, all I do is I switch those around. Divided by 4a squared, because that a is going to come down there, is equal to x plus b over 2a squared. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So that would be the square root of this side, and the square root of that side gets rid of that square. I tack on a plus or minus on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the b over 2a onto the left side. So if it's alright with you, I'm just going to have x is equal to negative b over 2a. Actually, I kind of flipped these around and then subtracted it. X equals negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over the square root of 4ac a squared, which is 2a. Hey, that has a common denominator. Boom, I'm going to take this guy and put it over a very common denominator. How's about over 2a? This, my friends, is the quadratic equation, and the one way I like to memorize it is I think of a negative boy who was kind of a square dude. He kind of wasn't cool with popular kids, and he was unsure about going down to this radical party, and dude was a square, was a negative boy to begin with, and he missed out on talking to 4 awesome chicks. The whole party was over at 2 a.m. Memorize it in that order, because check this out. You have a negative boy, unsure, plus or minus, the square root, which is also known as a radical. So dude couldn't go to a radical, wanted to go to a radical party. Dude was kind of a square, that's why we got the boy squared, minus 4ac, which is talking to 4 awesome chicks. Divided over 2 a.m., that's that. I didn't pull it out of my butt. I throw it up on the board saying memorize it. I derived it from you from very scratch things. This is a super powerful formula. Memorize it, use it, love it. Shoots, bro. Up out.